Hear me now. That's not Jeremy. As usual, I don't think the question... Oh, there you are, Jez. Right. Oops, disappeared. That was weird. Okay. I think that's worked. Anyway. There you
Hello.
are. Hi, Jez.
Hey, man. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. All right, we're doing this thing. Is this it? Are we in?
Yeah, we're in. Everyone's watching. It's really, really exciting, apparently. So, as usual, questions from your viewers will show up here, and they haven't. So we're just
cool. We'll just vibe it then.
Going through the fucking comments and hoping we can read all of these questions that have already been written.
That one's in Arabic.
Okay. Well, I'm going to scroll up to the top and see what's what. This just doesn't work, does it? This process.
Come on, we can do this.
Good morning, John. That's not really a question.
Wagwan comrades. Yeah, we're just vibing. That's quite offensive. How do you enjoy playing the early songs? That's a question.
Good question, Jez.
We enjoy a lot of them, loads, but it's kind of like trying to re-inhabit a past life or something sometimes, especially with the very early stuff. It's difficult to kind of re-inhabit the energy that we had when we were like 23, but we'll be doing more of it in future, I think.
Yep.
What was the Planets video about? Does it represent the song? That's for you, that is. Look at this, by the way.
The video, well, you can't film the band, can't film anything, can't make anything. Kind of a bit limiting, so I thought I'd use a monkey to protagonist in the song. I kind of wanted it to be like Carl Sagan, like Cosmos, 70s, sort of slightly crappy space stuff. And the monkey just seemed to fit in like a 2001 Space Odyssey kind of way. There's some kind of deep connection between the planets and monkeys. So it was really as simple as that. And then as I was filming it, lots of weird, dark stuff started to creep in because I was on the bridge and then I started reading the "Don't Jump Now" signs, and he just looked so sad when he was sat in all those blossoms, and the sort of underlying story of him being very, very sad was crept into it, which wasn't my intention to begin with. But I am a sad person, so it comes in. Right. Hey, it's Jeremy from Falls. Right. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think you're getting these much later than me, which is good because I can
scroll right up to the top.
Oh, can you do that?
Saturn, obviously, it's the rules the world.
Oh, you can scroll up to the top. That's good.
I'm afraid all the questions are there, Jez.
Okay, cool. If Dave Sardine just joined, then who's Jonathan? Hi, Rich.
I'm not Dave Sardine. There's several people pretending to. Well, you are him. None of them are me.
No. We don't think Dave's doing that well in lockdown. You know, he's been suffering. We've not heard from him for a little while. No. We need to check in with him.
Oh, Jesus. Right, should we watch some of these? I mean, read some of these.
Let's read some actual questions, yeah.
Impish in the Independent, John. I didn't know I was, but yeah, great. Makes a change from the indie Mika. Right.
Do you like Leanne's cover of Final Form, and would you collab with her? Yes, we do, and she's a good friend, and we sort of attempted a collaboration with her on Duet, believe it or not, but it didn't suit anybody. I don't think the song suited her that well, and we didn't suit her. Thank you. She's a great singer though, and in a way, she was too good for the song. In a way, like too Crystal. Why did you choose Planets for the next release? Love it. The people we work with, we allow to make those decisions because we get so bogged down in indecision and disagreement, really. So it's kind of good to have people who are less steeped in the music to help us with that stuff. Jeremy, do you have an axe? I think what that is referring to is the fact that I look like Jack Nicholson. And yes, I do.
It's because last time I had an axe on here, I think.
Oh, did you? Oh, right, yeah.
We kept him right beside my head. What name? He's called Mr. Binns.
Who's called Mr. Binns?
The monkey.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you called him?
Yeah, had to. Speaking of 70s legends, did you ever watch any Jim Henson films when you were younger? Does the Dark Crystal count? That'll do. If it's Christmas Carol.
Who climbed up?
Who's your favourite bass player?
My favourite bass player?
Yeah.
One person. Probably Paul McCartney. It's probably Macca. It's his birthday. He's 78 today. Peace and love.
Yeah.
Jeremy, Alex said you took the lead on sequencing Reanimator. What was that like? Actually, what I did do is I had, I just like wrote all the songs out on strips of paper and then just sort of rearranged them on my kitchen surface for an afternoon and sent photos to the others. And that's sort of how we got there. I think the fact that I was, of the four of us, probably the least connected with the songs in a way. I'd had the shortest relationship with them. That kind of helps you to be it's sort of objective, which is what you need when it comes to sequencing. Here's one for you.
Who climbed up the climbing frame to put the monkey on top? That was me, and then I had to climb all the way down and film it, and then climb all the way up and get it. It was a day or a few days of just me. In fact, I was filming him when he was in the Blossoms, and then this old man just came out of nowhere and started talking to me, and I was in the middle of a take doing the whole song, sort of like this, trying to see in the camera. Couldn't possibly see because I was doing it all by myself. So I was just stood there just miming this monkey, and he appeared about 30 seconds in. I just had to do the whole song sort of while he was there. And I was even saying over the top, like, just making a music video, mate. And he was just sort of looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And out here, man. Which is stupid. Has anyone...
What's the meaning behind... Go on.
What's the meaning? Go on, Jez. Mine are all stupid here.
Are we going to hear Big Climb before the album drops? I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
What's your favourite bass line to play? I'm going to think about that and come back to you. Were Coldplay an influence? We all liked their first record a lot when we were like 15.
Coldplay, yeah, definitely. But everyone thinks that the monkey is somehow connected to one of their videos that I've not seen, but they've seen screenshots of it today. And there's some kind of awful CG monkey in it. I haven't seen that. And I don't think I even know that song. It's called like something to do with life. Living Your Best Life or something by Coldplay.
We had quite a good afternoon at the Q Awards once when me and John saw Chris Martin on the other side of the room, and we were like, let's go and piss him off. He likes our band. And on our way over, this hand came out and grabbed John's arm and said, I've seen you, you're on the telly, you're good. Have you met Bono? And it was Noel Gallagher introducing John to Bono. And that was a funny moment, wasn't it?
It was a strange, very strange moment, yes. Those three in the success. Well, we didn't even get to Chris Martin, did we?
No, we did, because we told him we still liked Parachutes, and he said, well, then you are a fool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we like your first album. Just said out of us for liking it.
Yeah. Jeremy, if you see this comment, blink thrice. Well, do I have to do it now that I've read it? I have seen it. Hi.
Supporting a belly dancer in Shrewsbury. Wow. It wasn't just a belly dancer. A belly dancer was on before us, but so was a band called Barely Legal. We weren't old enough to be in the pub we were playing in, and
fucking legends.
There was a power cut during their set. So just, and I mean set. It was just some kids standing. There was no stage because they couldn't use the upstairs where the actual live room was. It was because of some licensing things. So they just stood in the corner of the pub. And then the lights went out. And then a belly dancer came on. And then we played. And during Suffragette, someone came up to me during the song and just went, "So what are your influences, mate?" And I was like,
Such a great gig, that one.
great gig, yeah.
The Barely Legal had to be out by 8 p.m. because their dad was coming to pick them up.
Yeah.
And they weren't really allowed to be in the pub. Is there a track you are most excited about us hearing that you haven't released yet? Well, yeah, like most of the record, really. Choose one, John.
Saw you in Nottingham a few Father's Days ago.
When is
Do you prefer big or small venues? The first part of that question is so good. Big or small, I can't ever see the crowd. Keep my eyes closed. There's lights in my eyes. As long as I make loads of noise, I don't really care. I've got things in my ears anyway. I can't really see or hear you. There's the truth. So I'm not really there when I play a gig. Can't see you, can't hear you. And the sweat coming over my eyes anyway.
Would you ever play I Believe It Now? I doubt it.
Unless someone else is asking it.
Go on.
I doubt it too.
I doubt it.
How hard is it not being able to play for people because of Corona? It's just boring, really. It'd be nice to play a gig by now. It's been a while. It's been a hell of a long time now. Joe played some more recently, obviously. But we haven't played them for a long time. So when did you first try your hand at Blender? Just before lockdown, really, about a month before I started just dicking around with it. I made that stupid hand washing animation, which you may remember. With someone singing, like a girl from Hooters singing Happy Birthday over the top of it. And that was the first thing I made. And then the second thing I made was the In Birdsong video. What's Jez sipping on this fine day?
It's so obviously an expensive German lager. I can't remember what it's called now. Tegernsee Hill. Carling. Have you given up on politics like Jonathan has, Jeremy? No, I mean, I don't think I've got a choice, really. I think I have to stay there, like we all do. Next single when? Well, today, Marco, so give us a chance.
It's not a single Jez. Not a single Jez. Officially, it's a track. It's a track.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, what does a single mean anymore?
The other two
albums
tracks.
that inspired this record. Albums that inspired this record. That's a good question. I'm racking my brains now. Our own, as ever.
Don't make it sound like Fever Dream. Do you have any initial ideas for videos you weren't able to execute because of quarantine? Yes, we were going to have a video directed by someone else where we were all strapped to like a
pendulums,
and we were just going to be like upside down and being sick and couldn't be done. We were just about to make it, and then lockdown happened. We were like, oh shit, we can't even put this song out, let alone make this video. Why the name Reanimator? Well, a reanimator in this instance is supposed to be a thing that pulls you out of your everyday, like living in the simulation where you don't really think about your life. You just go through emotions and you eat the food they say you should eat, and you go on Instagram like we are now, and you never really live. And Reanimator is the thing that comes into your life and suddenly makes you come alive. If it's a motorbike to the face, or a newborn baby daughter, or death of your dad, or whatever it is, it's one of those moments that makes you wake up and come alive, I would say. That's my current explanation.
Which leads me on to, can we have the demo of Come Alive Diana, please, lads? Well, there are a number of versions of that song, loads of incarnations, and we've been going through the archives of it recently, and one or more of them may see the light of day. Who knows? We'll see.
Massive poo on cam. Thanks, God, Joseph. Right, Jez, here's a great question. This is probably going to take up the rest of the session.
Favorite Bond? Ooh. As in actor or film? Or how are we interpreting this?
It's got to be. Which is the best Bond? It's got to be.
Do you know? We've
it's
talked about this.
But I'm happy to talk about it again.
We've talked about this as much as we've made music, and honestly, we've been right around the houses. And I actually think that Brosnan is the best Bond. He's the right mix of sort of cheesy and sentimental and thuggish and handsome and idiotic. He is the best Bond. He happens to have only 2 half-decent films and 2 absolute rotters, but he captures the character best. What are you doing?
Someone said my mic sounds like it's underwater, and that's because it's on like the lip of the table.
Oh yeah. That's why I've got these on.
If I flip it upside down, do I just go upside down? Is that the crack?
Yeah. Yeah, do that. That's fine.
I didn't know if it would flip or what. You're just gonna have to deal with it, Kayla. Brosnan's the best Bond, but his films are the worst.
Yes. Who has the best films? Connery, probably. Connery is also probably the second best Bond.
The best Bond films are the Connery films. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Yeah. We've probably spent enough time on this question. But,
yeah,
I'd like to stay here, but we probably shouldn't. What's your opinion about tambourines? I like them a lot. There was a very, very, very long, drawn-out disagreement about the tambourine in Lost Powers, which is our opening track on this new album. Mike eventually won, and we kept it out of the first verse, and that was the upshot. Mark Stevens .art says Mick Kahn. Couldn't agree more. What's your favourite song on Reanimator? Ooh, I don't know.
I think it's.
I don't think I have. Violent Sun, yeah, possibly. I like loads of it. I like all of it. Happy Birthday, McAvoy, absolutely. It's my birthday too, yeah.
Jeremy, what inspired you to play bass?
The fact that nobody else would, basically, and I found it easier than playing the guitar. And I played the cello a bit, so I think I understood sort of how to play a bass role, really.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the most notable change in the use of the English language as a sung medium? Ooh, meaty.
Well, there are Americanized vowels, whether you like it or not, when you sing. Look at that, my hair. I've got like a few loose hairs there. It's annoying. Yeah, you have Americanized vowels now. Not now. Just it's easier to sing them. Or Irish ones, apparently.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's loads of... whenever I turn on the radio, I hear this kind of... this voice, this affectation that I think started with... maybe with a Lord or someone around that time. And it's this kind of... I can't even do it. But it's this really, really kind of mangled way of singing that people think is how you sing good.
Yeah.
No, it's not the gravel thing. It's not the male usually, but men do it as well. It's not the what's he called?
You know. Let's not go into it.
Cool name. It's not his voice. No, and I can't even do it. So this is a really pointless anecdote, but there are massive trends, and it's nothing to do with the language. So again, I haven't answered the question.
It's almost a dialectical thing, isn't it? Like an affected dialect.
Yeah.
How hard is the whole not being able to play? Oh no, we've done that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't you dare diss Coldplay. Oh, we didn't at all. Like Coldplay.
No, we didn't.
And lots of love for that band, and they lent us a synthesizer actually when we made Arc, so we would never.
Isn't the first part of Arc in the album? What the hell does that mean?
Can you please tell me what on earth Alex is doing it, what pedal he is using in the guitar solo of Run the Numbers? It'll be the Judder pedal that he uses on almost everything, I would have thought, although I don't know for certain.
What does it mean to love someone more than the planets? Who are you asking and why? Well, I'm actually asking a question. Can you love me more than the planets? And it's ambiguous as to whether I'm saying that you love the planets more or the planets love me more. So there's already a dual meaning there. But it's kind of about the love of nature and natural things and the form and the galaxy and the universe, rather than trivial human love. And if you can't get that one, can you get the other one? And it's me saying, do I have to give up on romantic love and just let flowers grow over me in a field, or can you love me, please?
From the sublime to the ridiculous, best U2 song. There is one true answer here.
Yeah.
And it's not on Joshua Tree, actually, and it's Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Where to go? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard, when early days of Napster, I downloaded the live, like, sad version of it, and it's fucking great. And
Is it? I've never heard that. Yeah, we have a soft spot for U2, like a lot of people. Can someone say trans rights? Yeah, trans rights. Fuck yeah.
A lot of poo coming in here.
Yeah. Hardest EE song to sing technically?
Probably Blastdoors.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. It's hard for all of us.
It's just listen to it. Listen to the verses, and then listen to that fucking chorus.
Yeah, it's the bridge that's so high, isn't it? It's a nightmare.
Fastest shouted verse, and then straight into the bridge, which is so
high, and then relentless chorus.
Yeah,
I'm from Portsmouth too.
That's why you can only ever put Blastdoors in the set, like first or second or whatever, because it's death.
No, we used to though, didn't we? We used to put it open with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, have to do it while you've still got full complement. Yeah. Did the Planets video take inspiration from Dutch Uncle's Decided Knowledge? I can't remember with that video. Which one is it?
I don't know either.
But we'll have to check it out. It's a great song. I can't remember the video now.
It'll be Duncan as a puppet, won't it?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do a Minecraft gig.
How is that possible?
We'll do a PUBG gig, right? King of Limbs or Amnesiac. Amnesiac. I ain't stupid. Do a shite now. Has it evolved?
They're really going for this.
Well, that particular person is really going for this.
Yeah.
What do you think of Red?
What does Infinity Face actually mean? We considered it for the name of the band in 2007 for about 5 minutes.
Was my OG video inspired by RAF Spade Adam? No, but RAF Spade Adam might be before the year without, funnily enough.
Hi, Morwenna.
Great band. Great question. Thank you.
There's another question here about the solo in Run the Numbers. It'll be the Judder pedal, I think. Johnny 96.
Released the Planets. I don't really know. I don't know why. It was quite good, isn't it? How many B-sides and bonus tracks are there from Reanimator? Let me think. None.
Well, we've got a couple of things we kept back, didn't we? So we'll see. 2 or 3 things.
Are you going to still make videos after the lockdown, or were they just scrapped now? Well, we're not going to go back and remake, Arch Enemy video or anything like that. So I guess they're scrapped. But we'll see in the future. You might see us on Pendulums in another time.
Jeremy's story about the inspiration for the uniforms inspired me to visit that museum. Oh, that's cool. I hope you enjoyed it. It's quite nice there at the Cosmonaut Museum. Question: how aloof and privileged do you have to be to believe that anyone cannot ever be involved in politics? The personal is political. Well, yeah, sure. What's the priority?
No, for the record, I've given up on politics. I just can't be arsed talking about it all the time, because I've been talking about it for 5 years, and it's really boring at the moment.
Yeah, of course.
And my political views are changing overnight during this pandemic, to be honest, which is another reason why I'm not talking about them, because I don't know where I am at the moment. My head's completely not where it was. So don't ask me in about a year what I think about everything, because I can't even tell you right now. Is Jeremy taller than Alex?
No, we're exactly the same height. We are literally exactly the same height. We've done this a few times on a tour bus that isn't tall enough for either of us.
So I don't know. It's hard to work out. I instruct you to poo.
Mm-hmm. Let's just ignore those ones.
I started watching Midnight Gospel a few weeks ago, and I did really like it. It was really good. A friend of mine said I should watch it. Are we getting B-sides? Nah. Not at the moment. What do you think is the best album you made? Reanimated.
Few people here standing up for Roger Moore, which, you know, in a way, he is our Bond. He did more than any other, and he's the one we talk about, and he's the one we impersonate. So, you know.
Brosnan's the best Bond with the worst films.
Yeah.
Connery's the best films. And Moore's films are actually the most enjoyable to watch.
The ones you actually watch, yeah. We watched one while we were making Reanimator, actually, didn't we? You and me stayed up late, and we watched an absolutely dismal Moore. The Greek Bond. It was terrible.
What was that amazing one we watched with Pierce and Michael Caine?
It's called The Fourth Protocol, and it's my favourite film of all time.
It's so good.
So good. We watched it 2 nights running.
Did you realise that The Sewers Erupting is a lyric in final form from the Arch Enemy video? Yes, I did. And the Fat Wave I've talked about before as well. There's even lyrics in No Reptiles about Fat doing something. And I think I talked about it in an interview, or maybe it's in a song. I can't remember now, but it's something an image I've always had of a tidal wave of Fat. It's nice to make it real finally.
Duncan's here standing up for Roger Moore.
Duncan who?
Duncan Ellis. Love you, Duncan.
I don't know what's going on. Do you mean really Duncan Ellis?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, mate. Favorite Bond theme? Ooh, probably one of the Shirley Bassey ones.
Favorite Radiohead album?
You've got to be Tina's fucking Goldeneye. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun. That's a U2 song, and that's been a huge influence on us, actually. Dun 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 dun.
Beat guy to with the alternative lyrics for Liam Gallagher's BPI band to the song. It was great.
Yeah, that was by Dave Sardine, actually. Jeremy, do you play both guitar and bass? Yeah, basically everybody does. I played on a couple of Everything Only songs. What are your favourite songs to Reanimator to play or favourite to listen to? We don't know yet. This is the problem. We've hardly had a chance to find out.
You shagged me. Good question. I took a picture with you in the US and said everyone should say instead of cheese, but you guys didn't get it at all. Do you just think
Don't get it now.
Oh, no, it's not subconscious. It's all from Rihanna's Umbrella, but really it's from The Dream who wrote that, and he put it in all the songs from that era, and I started doing it then. Because I just liked it. Right. Who's the best Doctor Who?
You're asking the wrong people, I'm afraid. We don't really know.
I think it's probably...
I'm going to say Tom Baker because he's the one whose name I know.
I actually... The only one I can really remember watching was the Paul McGann, like, one-off thing, which probably isn't to have much respect in the crowd, but I don't know. I've never really been a fan of Doctor Who.
Ooh, thoughts on Sylvan Esso, Alt J? I really like both those bands. It's particularly Sylvan Esso, who I really love. And Alt J are fun guys. Always have a good night with them. Will you do Zaget next year? Will anyone do Zaget next year? I hope so.
John, most embarrassing moment on stage? Probably at the Thekla in Bristol, where my keyboard stand just collapsed in the middle of Waits, and it just dropped to the floor at a really quiet part of the song. And obviously,
I forgot about that.
The music stopped. The day the music stopped.
What new bands are you listening to? We like a band from Liverpool called SPQR very much, and a band in Nottingham called Do Nothing. Those are my tips.
Yeah, they're mine too. I just keep saying SPQR because I don't really listen to anything enough. I just
They are great though.
And they keep getting props from us. In fact, no, they sent me like an entire album's worth of demos just a few weeks ago, and I've been listening to it, and it's really fucking good.
Oh, have you got that? Send it to me. I want to hear that.
Thank you. I might accidentally leak it online, Jeff.
Like I did with the third Dutch Uncles album.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm still sorry I did that.
Let's have a look. Are your favourite songs from Reanimator favourite to play or favourite to listen to? Well, the funny thing about this period of time is that we haven't really played those songs ever. Like we played them once in the studio or twice, or Mike's played his drums and I've sung on it, but whatever. We've not really played the songs, so we don't really know what it feels like to play a lot of them. We've never really played Planets, for example. Or Arch Enemy, I don't think. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, we don't even know. Maybe they're really hard, maybe they're really easy, maybe they're really fun. I don't know. We've done them on the live stream, but it's not the same as being in the room with each other. Jeremy, what do you use in your hair, and will your curl be making an appearance this live stream? There you go.
What's my curl? This thing, I suppose. This is my. It's like just some cheap and nasty stuff. That's what I use in my hair. There was a good question here. Here we go. Oh, you can. Oh, that's good. How do I do that? Easiest song to play whilst monumentally hungover? Probably Regret. Get to Heaven turning 5 tomorrow. Is it? Wow.
Is it?
What's your favourite song from the album? Probably No Reptiles, really. It's kind of undeniable.
I hope this isn't some kind of furry thing I'm doing, but
yeah, you've got a sort of monkey on your face, or
are you a Brummie? Far from it, young lady. I am I'm not a Geordie, but I'm from there. Not a Brummie, not a Manc. I'm not really anything, aren't I?
Jeremy, do you like President Heartbeat? I do like President Heartbeat. That song was a sort of lifeline during quite a dry period when we were trying to write for Get to Heaven, and I do like it. Oh, look at this.
I'm definitely going to stick with this for a bit. Actually, I'm not. Okay. So,
hi, Nick.
Favorite phoneme to accentuate in song? I don't know what a phoneme is. What's a phoneme, Des?
A phoneme?
Yeah.
Don't know.
It's probably, for me, it's probably E. If that's a phoneme, I don't know. But it's the E.
Oh, like a phonic sound. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, okay, this one's all right.
Yeah, that's much more you. Oh, Mercury and me. So that's
the questions. What do you think of Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip? Well, I wouldn't have it myself.
They can't reassure man alive.
Sorry,
sorry. That's right. They can't reissue man alive, can't they? We'll see. Favourite bass player, we've done that. Beans, I quite agree.
I'm still back at when I was talking about Lord's voice, so I'm going to scroll a bit further.
I don't know where I am. They just keep coming.
If there was a program to colonize space, would you go? And if so, what would be the first song play on a new planet?
That's quite a big question, really.
Obviously, I'd go. And the song would probably be Yellow Brick Road. We all need to discuss poo.
We don't.
Favorite
Bowie song. It's a good one. Favorite Bowie song is Life on Mars, probably.
Life on.
Roger Moore impersonation. All right. Well, let me finish my beer and then we might do that.
Is the Roger Moore impersonation? You can't stop doing one.
I need to get a bit later and smoke a bit more. We'll get into that.
Okay. Yeah.
When I kill a man, I do it for Queen and country. Do him when he shouts. Move! Thanks for putting out the Modern Bison EP. It rips. Do you guys ever miss making stuff like that? Yeah, sort of, in a way. It's a completely different musical mindset, really. All of the developments is so sort of tiny and incremental, and you have to. I don't really know how we made music in that way, to be honest. It's a completely different mindset now. I'm glad we did it.
God, no. What the hell? Behind the scenes footage from Planets vid when? That would only consist of the audio of me saying to the guy, just making a music video, mate, and the sort of that kind of sound of the monkey's mouth. There's nothing else really to go with. Which Lord of the Rings movie do you prefer? Two Towers, probably, because it's the least good one.
I once saw you at Tate Liverpool. How would you describe your art taste? Oh, did you? I like kind of 20th century British, the Cornish lot. I like them, basically. And Dish Steel and that stuff. Pretty predictable, really.
Animal Crossing, not played it. Looks incredibly boring. Looks like...
What is Animal Crossing?
It's this thing, right, where you basically have like a cute little avatar and you can water your plant, or like, for some reason, since about 2008, all video games, you have to be able to build a fucking house now. You can't just kill things. You have to build a fucking house.
That's nice though, right?
And then water your plants or whatever, or like craft some bollocks in Minecraft, or make some shit in Fortnite. Or even Fallout does it. I don't know why.
Hang on, I'm going to have to interject here. I took a photo with you in Cardiff and Jeremy was wearing a really, really stupid hat. Does he still have it? Does he think he's cool? I don't know which hat you're referring to, but yes, I do. And yes, I do. Probably.
To return to Animal Crossing, you just like do something like water your plant, and then you have to wait in real time for it to grow. So you can only do a certain amount per day. Then you have to come back. You actually have to come back the next day for a game you paid for, and then see if it's grown a slight bit in not real world. And people love it.
Why don't people just grow some plants?
Because they're not connected to the real world anymore, mate. It's all fucking online now. Right. Although it's probably not online with that game. I don't fucking...
Have you ever heard a song in your dream that inspired some song? Alex did, didn't he? What was the song he dreamt up? That he dreamt the melody of? It was The Actor, which is coming out on Reanimator. Yeah, he dreamt the melody. He dreamt a melody that I think we then scrapped.
Bars and Melody. Do you remember them, Jez? Here's a question for me.
What's the question? Read it to me.
No, it's coming out of my head. Do you remember Bars and Melody?
I do remember Bars and Melody, mate. Yeah, I found out about them by going to the Arndale Market and seeing them on some hoodies. Would you come back to Moscow at some point of touring? We miss you. It was not long. It was not enough last time. Yeah, we really like Russia. We've had some crazy times in Russia. So yeah, I hope so. Do you think Loyal Kana is the best English rapper? I like him. There are lots of great English rappers. What do you think of Black Midi's rise? I like that band. I find it kind of surprising that 18-year-olds are making music like that, because when I was 18, I was making music like that as well, and it's just really encouraging, and it's a kind of mysterious nature of the zeitgeist. I hope they come back with something great soon.
When did you start wearing scrubs to make an album? Why? I used to just wear them not all the time, but they would be a thing in my wardrobe. And then I started wearing them on Man Alive. We started joking that I was wearing them because we were going deep, which is a reference to Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica film, which makes an appearance on Man Alive, actually, at the end, in the muffled bit of Final Form. We were obsessed with it. So every time I put them on, everyone knows that we're going deep now. And it doesn't really mean anything, but it's just sort of tradition. I even did it on the most recent one.
Done it every time.
Yeah. Worried about closing venues? Are you worried about closing venues, Jez?
Yeah, obviously. If we lose 80% of the grassroots music venue network, there's just nowhere to play for emerging artists and established artists alike. So yeah, very worried. They need government funding, like anything else that contributes as much to the national exchequer. John, put the cat filter on. Say again, mate.
Favorite Star Wars film, Jez?
Rogue One, probably. It's actually the best one.
I'm fond of The Phantom Menace.
Brummies are people too. Yes, they are. You're fond of Phantom Menace, of course you are.
Well, it's just so kind of memes now that it's just kind of, it's not even, it's just beyond a film now. It's just so ridiculous.
Do you remember when you played the Globe in Cardiff and you pressed a button on the keys and it went on for ages, so you just walked off and started again? Yep, that was the first show on Arc, actually, and only me and Alex walked off and the others didn't, so it looked even worse.
We used to start shows with a sample pressed on the keyboard of "My mind's telling me no," and then it was extended, so it just went no, and then Blood Out the Lambs would start. That was probably one of our
I forgot about that
shows. That was how we used to start it. Over the top of the no, ridiculous. We just thought that was fine to do. My mate Dale used to drive you around. Do you remember him? Of course. Dale's an absolute legend.
we love Dale.
Massive knowledge.
So I gather. What are your opinions on Soviet abstract art? I don't know a lot about it. I like a lot of Russian constructivism. That's all I can tell you, really. Favourite Julia Jacklin song? Oh, I do love that last record of hers very much. I think maybe Body is my favourite. I like Pressure to Party as well.
What happened to Bizarre and B?
I forgot about that. That was on the our MySpace page 13 years ago.
Unchanged.
Is your drummer learned in jazz? Yeah, he is. Very much so. That's his whole bag, really.
If you were both doctors, what sort would you be and why?
I'd be an honorary doctor, like my dad is, which he just uses to get a rail card so that my mum can use it as well.
I would probably be a bollock doctor. Why so much space imagery in these new song titles, lads? I'm psyched. I've just been thinking about space quite a lot and stuff like that. Anything to get away from the little ants crawling around on the ball of Earth and their silly bollocks. I'm so sick of it. I just want to leave the planet and forget about all this crap that's boring me.
Jazz, why play jazz bass with Foles and not EE? I do play jazz with EE sometimes. It's song dependent, but they were always a jazz bass band before I was involved, so I thought I'd play that. It's what they're used to. It was quite a nice change for me. Did you play with Foles at Truck 2019? Yes, I did. It was a good gig.
Pub in Manchester, Jez. Best pub in Manc.
Best pub in Manchester. Oh, Henry C in Chorlton. Very much so.
I travelled all the way from France to Norwich to see you when it got cancelled.
Oh, God, yeah.
The France bit.
So did that lady from Spain who we're friends with. There were a few of those. We had like 4 gigs in a row cancelled at that end of February, was it, in 2018? It was a massive snowstorm and we'd have to load in every day and then just take the show down again because the police would tell us to. I'm very sorry to anybody that came out to those gigs and couldn't come to the reschedules.
Do you like tacos, Jez?
Do I like panicos? Yeah, it's great.
Tacos.
Tacos. Sure, yeah.
I don't even know what panicos is.
Panicos is that kebab place in Chorlton, on Barlamore Road. Do you read the DMs on the Instagram account? I don't, but I think Mike does.
I think Mike does.
Dropping him in it. Yeah.
There's usually just so much weird shit in there that we don't bother. Do you remember the first time you wanted to be a musician? Nah, not really.
I do both, so you can both fuck off. Hi, Mark. I don't know what you're referring to. I think I'm going around in circles here. I keep getting questions about Alex's guitar solo and not the numbers over and over again. Maybe it's that popular.
No, this is Pod Racing. No. I know Final Fantasy is shit, everyone. It's absolutely shit. But because of Mr. Plinkett and because of Blank Check, the podcast, which you should check out, I've come to love the prequels because they're so shit and they're so kind of endlessly full of things to think about how good they are. So no, I don't actually like it, for God's sake. It's literally one of only 2 films I've fallen asleep in the cinema at was The Phantom Menace.
Do you like Beck? Yes, very much. I have been on a kind of Beck retrospective tip recently. I really love Sea Change and Mutations and Guero in particular, and Midnight Vultures. Incredible bass player as well, Justin Meadow-Johnson. Jeremy,
sorry, Jess, go on.
No, go on.
What's been the most interesting new genre or music movement of recent years? Well, I don't know how new this is anymore, but the whole the whole thing going on in Blackpool, I really liked. The BG Media stuff. Kids rapping, I thought was great. I don't know how new that is now.
Yeah, it's probably not as new as we think it is it? That was Little T and all that lot, wasn't it? In Blackpool.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight with a polar bear and a Nile crocodile?
Sorry, it's weird. Who would win in a fight with what?
Polar bear and a crocodile, but a crocodile that comes from the Nile, specifically. I reckon polar bear. The Nile crocodile's got a kind of thin snout. It's not very substantial.
Yeah, so Sophie Aspie and Little T, them lot.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. What did you both have for breakfast?
Christ. Nothing. I haven't eaten all day.
I can't remember. Have you not eaten today?
No.
You should eat something, man.
Okay. Best Walk album. The one with yoga on it, or yoga, or however you say it. I don't know. I really like that one.
Do you like and listen to Glass Animals? Yeah, and they're good guys. HMV Manchester show for Reanimator. Is it still there? Didn't we close it down 7 years ago?
I tend to avoid any band that I hear good things about that are slightly like us. I just completely ignore the output until years have passed, in case they're better than us, even though I'm utterly convinced they can't be. Totally ridiculous. Like I've still never listened to Old Jake. I don't even know if they're good or not because I'm too hung up about stupid shit to even listen. I'm pretty sure they're good. I've seen them live and it was good. And they're nothing like us, but
it was good. Yeah, we went to see them.
I haven't sat down and listened to
in the Catskills
in my entire life. I still don't actually know what the Arctic Monkeys is all about, because they were so hyped.
You have. I've done it with you. That's why we wanted to listen with Fordo.
You can't help but hear them, but I just don't do it when a band gets those hype, or they're like, oh, it's the new band that I like, whatever it is. I just avoid because I'm just too.
Yeah, I'm like that with like TV and films and stuff. As soon as people actually start talking about it, the ubiquity just turns me off.
I put off.
Which is why I never watched Breaking Bad.